Who dat to the Who Dat Nation? Welcome to the Who Dat Say podcast, your podcast for the New Orleans Saints here on the KB Radio Network. I am your fellow Who Dat and host Kevin Reed. And the New Orleans Saints, can you believe this? Take a breath and collect yourselves. But the New Orleans Saints won today, and won convincingly as the Saints defeated the Carolina Panthers by the score of 17-7. The Saints are now 2-8 on the season. Carolina falls to 5-5. Saints will go into their bye week next week, and boy, do they need it. They need a week off, especially after this performance. I was impressed across the board. I can honestly say this was the best game that the New Orleans Saints have played under this Kellen Moore regime. I know a lot of fingers will point towards the Giants game where we scored 26 points and whatnot. I don't count that, because if you look at the Giants, just look at them today. The Giants are a bad football team. They are horrible. And if it weren't for them turning the ball over 150 times, we probably would have lost that game. So I don't really count it, but I take it because we need wins, to feel good. So I took that victory. This one here, the Saints went out there and earned it. The Saints really did a excellent job. Well, good job. I'm not going to say excellent because I do have thoughts. I have thoughts on a couple of moments in this game, in particularly the first half of this game, where I sat there and was like, I'm over it with Kellen Moore. I'm over it. And I still am. Even with this win, I'm over it with Kellen Moore. Let me get it out the way now so we can get into the celebration of it all. Kellen Moore is flat out not a good coach. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to sugarcoat it or try to mask it. It is what it is. He is not a smart football coach. Will he be in the future? It's a possibility because you can learn. Learn from your mistakes. But right now, he makes so many mistakes and he repeats them over and over again that just leads me to the belief that he is not a good football coach. Some people have it, some people don't. It goes back to the Dennis Allen era where he just wasn't good, but at least he was consistent on a few things. The Saints were a consistent defensive team. Offensively, they had somewhat of an identity, even though it wasn't highly successful. But it was an identity nonetheless. Whereas we look at this team this year under Kellen Moore, I have no idea what this team is. Today, I still don't know after this win, but at least they did something consistent. And that was run the ball. It's something that has, I don't know, had me pretty much scratch a hole through the top of my skull trying to figure out why this team doesn't run the ball, or attempt to run the ball and keep a defense honest. I know we're not going to get 150 yards a game. I'm not crazy like that, but at least keep the team or the opposing team honest. Make them have to defend it, because you have defenses that are just pinning their ears back and teeing off on our quarterbacks. And no quarterback is going to succeed under that model. But once you saw that the run game started working today, Tyler Shucks started working as well. He had an excellent game. Good outing for the rookie. The best rookie performance in franchise history with 282 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He looked phenomenal today. He had some really nice balls that he delivered down the field. Took some deep shots, moved around the pocket when he needed to. He looked good. He looked really good, but the star of this game today wasn't on the offensive end of the ball. It was the defense. That defense looked lights out incredible today. This was a performance of a lifetime. I'm going to bottle this up and keep it on my mantle, because I don't know if I'm going to see a defensive performance like this ever again from the New Orleans Saints. You know, I hope I do. I hope I get it in 2 weeks, but I'm not banking on it, so I'm just gonna take it and run with it. Boy, this defense. The Carolina Panthers only scored 7 points today, and you can make an argument that the Saints gave them those 7 points. You know, penalties and basically ushered them up the field to get those 7 points. Aside from that one drive, the Saints defense shut the Carolina Panthers down. Bryce Young, I think he only had 120 something yards today passing. And Rico Dobbin, who has been terrorizing the league, just last week, I think he had, 150 or something like that. I know it was well over 100 yards. Against the Cowboys, I think he had 200 yards. I mean, he was a monster that I was deeply afraid of. I honestly thought that he was going to terrorize us today. I honestly thought that was going to be our death knell. He did nothing. He scored that touchdown. He scored that touchdown early on. After that, he disappeared. It's like Thanos snapped and he vanished with half of the other universe. I think he ended up with 54 yards rushing today. He did nothing. That defense was all over the field. We were getting turnovers. We were getting off the field on third down. I think we forced, if at my count, like 7 straight 3-and-outs defensively. Now, the part where I was getting frustrated with the Saints were we weren't turning those into points. We weren't turning those opportunities into points. But at the end of the day, we did get the victory. So I'm not gonna harp on it too much now, but I will eventually. I'll circle back around to it when I'm in a less happier mood. Right now, I'm just happy. I am happy not just because we won, but it's the way we won, the manner in which we won, and Atlanta lost. And so it was a win-win. Oh, let me add another win to that because Tampa lost too. And so it was a win-win-win for me today. We're the only team to win in our division in week number 10. That is great. Now, does that mean, oh man, the Saints are back in the hunt for the division? Calm down, people. Just relax. Just take a breath. Take this win and be happy with it. I'm not looking for a big turnaround and we go on an 8-game win streak. That's not gonna happen. that won't happen. But it feels good to have this victory against a hot Carolina Panther team. Carolina won 4 straight games. They were coming, and it looked like they were going to be that sleeper kind of a wild card type berth team, you know, that might take the league by storm. And we just put up a brick wall on them today. Let's go over some of this game. As of course I mentioned earlier, Tyler Shuck making his second start with this game, got his first ever victory. He threw 2 touchdown passes. He went 19 for 27 for 282 yards today. Wide receiver Chris Olave had one of his better outings as a New Orleans Saint. He had a 62-yard touchdown reception. That was part of his 5 receptions today for 102 yards receiving. Yes, he had an excellent game today. One of those catches he had that he was being interfered while the cornerback was grabbing his arm. He was able to contort his body and twist it and catch the ball with the other arm and still land in balance. And it was just a great play by him. I've been wondering where was that earlier this season, but better late than never, I suppose. Tight end Juwan Johnson, he had another touchdown, 30-yard reception in the fourth quarter. That pretty much was the nail in the coffin for the Carolina Panthers. He had 4 catches for 92 yards today. They just look good. They look good moving the ball around the field today. running the ball. Alvin Kamara had his best game all season. He had ran the ball 22 times today. 22 times today. He had 83 yards rushing. He even caught 3 passes for 32 yards today. He looked like the old Alvin Kamara today. He was running hard. He was hitting the holes hard. Um, Everything worked. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was the switch. What was the elixir that they injected in their bodies for this Carolina game? Taysom Hill, he helped out as well. He had 7 carries for 20 yards. It was just an all-around good effort from everybody on this Saints squad today. I am super impressed and happy with the way this offense finally got it together. And, for 2 quarters, 2.5 quarters. They looked like a team that I was hoping they would be throughout this season, but it took a while for it to get there. Hopefully, this is the start of something good, something to build on, and we can, hey, who knows? Who knows what can happen going forward? But the super impressive thing to me today, like I mentioned before, was the defense. You had Alontae Taylor. He had a key interception in the 4th quarter. What's his name? Pete Warner had a fumble recovery. They had Demario Davis had an interception earlier in the game in the 1st quarter that was called back due to a penalty, which, man, is just upset. It was the stupidest thing. What's his name? Justin Reed. I should remember his name. He ain't no Reed of mine. He no kin to me, but he had that stupid rough in the passer when he grabbed man. It just killed the drive. You could tell it kind of sucked the air out the defense, and Carolina ended up scoring a couple of plays after that. Yeah, they were flying all over the field. Cam Jordan, he had a sack today. Nate Shepard had a sack today. He also had a blocked field goal today. And speaking of the field goal block, has anybody other than me, because I'm still confused, how did Carolina get that ball? It's bad. I know that the ball, if it goes forward, is live or something like that. I don't understand what took place there. It was just so confusing the way it happened, because they blocked the kick. They went into a commercial break. We come back from the commercial break, and Carolina has a 1st and 10. I'm like, what happened? Wait, what happened? Did the ball bounce back and go through the I'm like, what happened? But very confusing rule from the NFL. But regardless, I think a couple of plays after that, Saints got a turnover. So I guess justice was served for our team there. With the sack that Cam Jordan got today, that was his 125th sack of his career. That is Hall of Fame numbers to me. I think Cam Jordan should be a Hall of Famer when he decides to wrap it up, hopefully soon. but he should be a Hall of Famer. It's sad that he doesn't have any hardware to kind of solidify his Hall of Fame type career, but he has been a Hall of Fame. He has played Iron Man throughout his whole career. The dude deserves it. I don't think he'll be a first ballot or anything like that, but eventually I do believe that he will be a Hall of Famer. Let's go through the stats. I know I ran down a few stats with Tyler Shuck and a few other players, but let's go through them all just to get them out there in the atmosphere. Passing leaders, Tyler Shuck, he was 19 for 27, 282 yards and 2 touchdowns today. Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers was 17 for 25, 124 yards and 1 interception. Rushing leaders today, didn't see this coming. Alvin Kamara led the team and the game. He outrushed Rico Dobbin, which is crazy. I didn't have that on my bingo card going in. But AK, he had 22 carries for 83 yards. Rico Dobbin had 18 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. Leading receiver today, Chris Olave, 5 catches, 104 yards and a touchdown. I still can't pronounce his first name right, so I'm not going to butcher it, but the young rookie, McMillan for the Carolina Panthers, he had 60 yards off of 5 receptions today. Cam Jordan got a sack, as well as Nathan Shepard, our sack leaders. And for the Carolina Panthers, Wallace had a sack as well. Leading tackler today was Demario Davis, who was everywhere. He was a wild man. He only had 7 tackles, but he was all over the field today. Like I said, he got robbed of an interception due to Justin Reed today, but he was the leading tackler today. For the Carolina Panthers, you have Derek Brown with 9 tackles today. Team stats, total yardage. This was so lopsided. This is almost Saints on the other side. I'm so used to looking at this from the other perspective is almost embarrassing. But the Saints had 388 total yards to Carolina's 175. My God. The sad part about that, we only managed to squeak out 17 points from that, but whatever. Carolina had 2 turnovers, Saints had 1, and that one, I believe, was because of that blocked field goal. I think that constituted as a turnover. Yeah. First down, Saints had 17 first downs, Carolina 13. Penalties, Saints had 6 penalties for 60 yards today. Carolina only had 1 for 5 yards. Still got to clean up these penalties. Like I said, those penalties is what gave Carolina 7 points. That's how crucial a penalty is. Third down conversion, Saints were 8 for 17. Carolina was 3 for 9. Fourth down, Carolina was 0 for 1 on fourth down. Saints were 2 for 3 on fourth down. Red zone, still a problem. Once again, still a problem. Saints were 0 for 2 in the red zone. Carolina was 1 for 2 in the red zone. Time of possession, Saints had the ball for 33 minutes and 21 seconds to Carolina's 26 minutes and 39 seconds. Saints had the ball for twice as much time as they had last week. And that's crazy to put that into perspective, that Saints had the ball for 33 minutes today, yet had the ball actually more than twice the amount of time that we had it last week. Grading today's performance against the Carolina Panthers. In case this is your first time, listen to a recap here on the Who That Say podcast. I grade every unit of the New Orleans Saints during the game: offense, defense, special teams, coaching. Round them up, add them up, divide them up, and come up with an overall grade for the Saints' performance in today's game. Beginning with offense, the offense gets a B+ today. I think the offense finally got it together and looked like a balanced team, running and throwing. Tyler Shuck looks like he's getting better every week. It's only a 2-week sample size. Well, 2.5 week sample size of him, and he's getting a little bit more comfortable in this offense. It looks encouraging there. Running the ball, Alvin Kamara looked real good. He really came to play today. Good job on him. And everybody else, even the offensive line, as depleted as it is, held up for the most part. I think they only gave up 1 sack today, maybe 2. I can't recall, but regardless, they did as good as you could expect from a makeshift offensive line. Defensively, the defense gets an A-. Man, I am so impressed with this team. The defense, did not see this coming today. Did not see it. It was a welcome surprise, honestly, because in past weeks, the Saints the Saints have not taken anything away from the opposing team's offense. They haven't shown they could take the run or the pass away. You could do whatever you want against this defense. And finally, we saw where this team can take something away, and not only take something away, but take away their biggest asset. And that was super encouraging from the New Orleans Saints defense. They get an A- today. The only bugaboos were those penalties that allowed the Carolina Panthers to score early, but hey, whatever. Special teams gets an A. You made your kicks. The punting game was good. You blocked the kick, even though you didn't recover it. And I guess they probably was as clueless as the rest of us. Like, wait, we supposed to recover it? I know when it goes up the field, but it went backwards. It did. I'm not going to harp on it because I would go crazy, but whatever. Yeah, they get an A today. Coaching, it gets a B-. It started off rough, man. It started off rough. This guy, Kellen Moore, just boneheaded stuff, man. The end of the half, you have 3 timeouts and you're playing for a field goal that you didn't get. It was just dumb decision making, like kicking that field goal on the opening drive when you was moving the ball pretty well. You get 4 shots from inside the 5-yard line, and you kick the field goal. You're 1-8 at this point. Who cares? Go for it. But you're chasing points. But luckily, it didn't come back to hurt us. But it's just stupid stuff like that frustrates me with Kellen Moore. He coaches scared. He coaches too safe for me, and you can't coach like that in the NFL. Because you have coaches a la Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh, John Harbaugh, coaches of that ilk that will eat you alive, because they know better. Andy Reid and things of that, what I'm saying? Experienced veteran coaches that know better will eat you alive if you're sitting there trying to be safe. And so that got to get better. The overall grade for the New Orleans Saints today versus the Carolina Panthers is a B+. Yeah, this was a excellent performance from this team. About time that we got that. It's about time we got a complete game, people, where offense, defense, and special teams came to play at the same time. I haven't seen that in a long time, and I'm going back, a couple of years or so. We haven't gotten a game like that in a long time. And so I'm going to take this, and this is a good win because we are not going to see Saints football for 2 weeks. And, we need a break, to be honest. They need a break. We need a break. We need to take this, bottle it up, like I said earlier, and just hold on to it as long as we can. But good win. And for the New Orleans Saints today, I'm going to reiterate, we need to build on this. You need to build on this. You got something. You finally have something that you can sit down and analyze as a coaching staff on what works for you, what you can improve on, and what we can use going forward, and what we're good at here and what we're good at there. Because I can understand from the coaching standpoint, it was hard because we hadn't shown what we're good at. We haven't shown one good thing that we were good at the previous 9 weeks. And so this is something that you can actually build on, and good on them today. I am super happy. Super happy. Super happy as well for Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck getting his first victory, and a real good game. Solid game. If this is the sign of things to come, because he's raw. Like I said, this is his second start. He can only go up from here. And so let's ride this bull. Let's ride it until it throws us off. And so I'm happy, man. I would like to know, what did you think of the game? What are your takeaways from the game? What What encourages you? What discourages you? I like to know moving forward. We have a couple of weeks. The mold is over. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Don't forget about YouTube. Subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the Who That Say podcast here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this week 10 recap of the Saints defeating the Carolina Panthers 17-7, 2-8 on the season thus far. We go into our bye week. We have 2 weeks to prepare for those Atlanta Falcons that will be coming to the Dome in 2 weeks. I can't wait. Just because the Saints are on the bye next week don't mean that I am, unfortunately, because we're going to do a season or mid-season recap or mid-season report or review of the New Orleans Saints. That will be coming out later this week, so be on the lookout for that. And enjoy your Veterans Day this coming Tuesday. And to all the veterans out there, thank you for your service. I'll catch y'all on the next go around. And until then, I'm going to be screaming at the top of my lungs, who that?